Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, your special coverage of the Guaranteed Rainbow Six Payout at Gulfstream Park. We've been chasing this the entire meet. Nobody's hit it for a long time. What kind of pool are we looking at on Sunday? They got to pay it out. The championship meet is done.
You would imagine a minimum 6-7 million, maybe as high as 10. 10 may be a little ambitious, but everybody and their brother's going to be involved in this thing.
The sequence races 6 through 11. Let's kick off the analysis. 6.5 furlongs for race number 6, 12,500 maiden claimer. The number 6 Quality A-Rod is going to take a lot of money. Quality A-Rod is trained by Michael Maker, sold for $250,000 as a Keeneland yearling, and has taken the biggest drop in racing. Maiden special weight to maiden claimer. He's going to attract attention. I have no idea if this horse can run or not.
Not just maiden special maiden claiming, low-level maiden claiming. It's almost like they're just cutting bait and saying, we're out of here. The interesting thing is if you like him, okay, you've got a nice horse that you can kind of stand on because on paper, just based on class, that goes a long way. If you don't like him, and there's, like you say, there's no guarantee you can even run. Now all of a sudden you're already kind of setting yourself up in the first leg for maybe knocking out a very heavily backed favorite.
Let's knock him out with the 2, Tom Liz. Now Tom Liz is one of those horses that you and I usually are like,
not
I'm
a fan
not
of Tom
sure.
Liz.
0 for 10, 4 second-place finishes. Just ran really well last time out at this 12-5 level where he was coming wide onto the turn, had to alter course sharply down towards the inside, then had to hop off the winner's heels in late stretch, galloped out great. Like him a lot at this 6.5. He's in good form. These low-profile connections ensure at least a playable price. If Quality A-Rod can't run, I think Tom Liz is the most likely winner of race number 6, the opening leg.
You asked me earlier, what's wrong with Tom Liz? I said, nothing's wrong with him. I don't know if anyone is going to be able to win this race. It's almost like no one should win this race. No disrespect.
Not to be rude.
If I'm looking for an alternative, there's actually 2 horses I would be interested in. Delta Force on the far outside.
Drop,
Bill
blink.
Drop, blinkers on. Took money in the debut as well, so maybe they thought there was something here. And if you want sort of an oddball kind of wild horse, how about Science to Win for Dorochenko? This is a horse going to be first time gelding off of a layoff, getting some class relief, cutting back to a sprint. Maybe that's when you could fool around with it a big number.
And we forgot about the best last buyer runner, the 4.
Yeah.
Embrace Grace, who finished 3rd last time out, missed the break by about 2 lengths, advanced down towards the inside, flattened out late. If he runs that 55 buyer, I mean, that's really close to the par. You could make a case that at a price this horse could be okay, but I'm kind of leaning towards Tom Liz here in the opening leg of the Rainbow.
It comes down to the Maker horse.
It comes down to the Maker. If that horse can run, he's going to win.
He's going to win, and a lot of people, and almost everyone will be alive. If that horse loses and people don't decide to go deep, all of a sudden it's immediately set up to be a nice sort of return.
Second leg of the Rainbow Six on Guaranteed Payout Sunday, 7.5 furlongs, 2 turns over the Gulfstream Park turf course. It's an optional claiming race. I only want 2 in here.
Okay.
Completely bonkers, big drop in class.
Giant.
You're a big fan of Delta Prince, who's going to be one of the major players in the Appleton on Saturday. I thought Completely Bonkers ran just fine that day, splitting horses in the stretch. He only got beat 2 lengths by that promising Delta Prince. A winner 2 starts back for Bob DeBona. I think this horse is going to come with a kick.
Highest last out buyer in the field, big class relief, I agree. I feel like in many ways he's the horse to beat in here. I think most of the money, though, is going to go to the 2 fresh faces, and we'll talk about both of them now.
Adventist is the other one I want in the Rainbow. This is a horse who's always hinted at ability. We were such fans of this horse when he began his career. 3rd in the Withers, 3rd in the Gotham, 3rd in the Wood Memorial, 2nd in the Ohio Derby. Just couldn't get over the hump, and it looked like he got sour. But now he's with Maker, blinkers on, switched to turf. Just is all the Maker angles, right?
Not a ton of turf pedigree, which is a little bit interesting, but this is another one that you have to use. He's one of the 2 fresh faces I was talking about. The other one we have to discuss that I think, just based on what he's done, I know he's lost 24 races in a row, 24. He won his debut and ripped off just this incredible losing streak. You have to look at Juan Mbina based on what he's been able to do on the main track. Now look, when some horses finally, kind of sour like this, you never get them back. They're never going to go and pass anyone. Maybe this is what he's needed all along, a change of scenery.
Indian Charlies can certainly step on the turf. I just wonder where's the improvement after 25
Does he need to improve?
I think against this field there are some good horses. I think Completely Bonkers can run a little bit. I think the speed horse, the gray with Edgar, number 2, Steel Sky's got some ability. Juan Mbina should be a price at least if you like him. So we don't want to talk. I think he's going to. I think a lot of folks are going to look at that 1 for 25. No idea if the horse can step on turf or not. I think if they're going to go with the fresh face, they're going to go with Adventist.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And you know what? I'm not going to be disappointed with that. I'm going to use Adventist as well, but I'm I think Wanambina has every right to get the job done there. First time on the turf. You have no idea if he can take to it. But guess what? I know he can't do it on the dirt. I don't know that he can't do it on the turf.
Third leg of the Rainbow Six, race number 8. Again, at 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Good luck. $25,000 maiden claimer. If I was playing a ticket maker's ticket, and I'm not sure I am just yet, I want to wait for scratches and everything. We're filming this on Friday. I think Arpanella and Japonski are the two logical horses from Fig standpoints. The last time Arpanella was at this level, 2 starts back, he ran a good third with a 55 buyer. Japonski was claimed by a pretty shrewd trainer and showed speed last time out for 20. I think these two horses are very logical.
Yeah, 100%. Of the two, I prefer Arpanella. I think that horse is a little bit interesting. I wouldn't knock anything about Japonski, but it just, I don't know. I look at it and say there's other speed signed on in here. You're going to have to. That's the biggest thing for me. I was trying to find someone I really liked coming from a little bit off of it, and I don't really think that I can find one. It's just a matter of, you know, darn if you do, darn if you don't. I don't particularly love that horse, but I can understand why people would use.
I mean, Break the Mold's going to show some speed stretching out from 5 furlongs. That horse has a chance. I guess El Huracan coming down from Tampa Bay has a chance. Arpanella and Japonski, they're sort of the established faces at this level. I would use them as backups. Maybe Last Lightning, a horse that's going to try turf for the first time. But look at that pedigree.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, hasn't done any running thus far in the 2 lifetime starts. Gets the change over the turf. Could be interesting pedigree-wise. I agree with you. 2 other horses that I would consider anyway. First-time starter for Loza, who red hot. I understand maybe turf isn't the specialty with the firsters, but I don't need. I know what most of these other horses are already. I don't know what that horse could be. We'll find out about Sin Lorar, I don't know how you want to pronounce that. The other one, though, that I think you would certainly need to consider is Slam.
Yeah,
Slam's getting major class relief.
Giant class relief, 60 buyer, 2 starts back for 40, now in for 25. Outside post a little bit worrisome here.
Certainly.
Short run to the first turn, but he certainly figures you could even make a case for Osvaldo. Third last time out and might be improving for Antonio Sano. Summer Causeway has run 12 times, yet to hit the board, but if this pace comes apart, he might come with a kick.
And if you say good luck in that leg,
well, yeah, I mean,
the next leg for me.
The next leg is something. I'm still trying to get my thoughts wrapped around race number 8, where I think it would be Japonski, Arpanella as my A's, Last Lightning, Summer Causeway, Signorar as backups. Slam, I'll try to beat him.
Good luck to you. I just want to get into the 9th race.
Race number 9.
Because this one is really, isn't this the kind of leg that chaos can
absolutely
ensue? You can have a 50 to 1 shot win this thing, because good luck. The way I looked at it, it's either a single in this race and you're just going to take one, or you're taking all of them.
That's a good way to look at this race.
That's the way I looked at it anyway.
We're halfway down. This is the 4th leg. 5.5 furlongs on the main. 12-5 maiden claimer. Plenty of first-time starters.
Yeah.
Of the first-time starters, I think Cope is very interesting for Stanley Gold, a guy that wins first out. And this filly showed a big bullet on March the 6th. We don't have access yet to the Clocker report. It's not out yet. I am waiting with bated breath to see if some of these first-time starters can step and make our lives easier.
She would be the single for me.
First-time starter or a single?
Look at the rest of the field.
Oh, man.
Who do you like in the rest of the field? Who can you make a strong case for out of the rest of the field? For me, it's either her or it's everyone.
You could make a case for Bossy Alexandra simply because she's taking a gigantic drop in class. You can make a case maybe for Cindy's Candy because that 47 buyer is very close to the buyer par at this level. Whether she wants to do it all the way back at 5.5 furlongs, I'm not sure. Oh, a single, that's brave.
You're being kind if you're making strong cases.
I'm not saying nothing was strong about it.
No, but I mean, even I'm not saying Bossy Alexandra can't win. But Bossy Alexandra, I get she's been facing tougher. She faced 25 maidens 3 back and she got buried. This field isn't that much worse than 25 maidens. For me, this is just the ultimate sort of bomb scenario where I'm either going to play it's a smaller ticket and hone in on the first-time starter from the connections that do well with firsters, and also sometimes it's as simple as look at the workouts, whether she's working well, and like you say, you're going to have to see what Vesey and Welsh have to say. But I mean, how many of these other horses can, if she runs in the race the 5/8 work that she worked 2 back, doesn't she win?
It seems that way.
How many of these other, I mean, who else can get 5.5 furlongs in less than 107? But none of them can. It's just, this to me is a race where it's either one or it's all.
Apprentice Nicky Figueroa riding in very good form. He's aboard Cope. Cope would be sort of one of the major players. Maybe Cindy's Candy I would use. Bossy Alexandra as a backup. Lady Greatness has got a little bit of speed as well. Race number 11, mile and a 16th on the turf.
10.
Race number 10. We've forgotten race number 11.
10.
Race number 10, where are you going in the 10th?
10, I think there's 3 horses that really sort of to key in on. One of them, though, the obvious one, is For All the Marbles. For All the Marbles is an honest sort. He's getting a little bit of class relief in here. He's going out for Saffie Joseph, who the barn has just been electric, off the charts the entire meeting. Won't be surprised if that one runs well. Starship Zorro, not a huge fan of, but from a figure standpoint, he fits in here. He's a nice little sort. And then the other one that I would throw in, Gracious Plenty. I don't know if this horse is good enough. This one's coming out of 3 consecutive races where she's been claimed, or he's been claimed, I should say. Maybe you get a forward move out of this one, maybe you don't, but I think this one could offer a little bit of value. Again, in a race where I think you can go a couple different ways, those would be the big 3 for me, though.
I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of Starship Zorro.
No, he is what he is.
He is what he is, and you know something, on his day, if
Might
he
be
gets the
good
right
enough.
trip, he might be good enough. But I have to admit, I might be leaning a lot on For All the Marbles
Yeah.
for all the reasons that you mentioned. I just think he's the horse to beat. Anchor leg of the Rainbow Six, if you're alive, best of luck. Mile and a 16th on the turf, condition claimer. Chivalrous, I think, is very interesting for Armando de la Cerda. This horse, first time for the barn. Rock solid win, 16,000 non-winners at 2 Life. Not getting crazy. This is the next logical step.
I almost wonder, for me anyway, the way that if I'm just slowly putting things together, and there's a lot of things that need to happen before now and then, do I go deep early and then just kind of hone in on one horse in this payoff leg? Because Chivalrous probably would be the one, just gets the logical next step. And as far as form is concerned, I know this horse is in good form. This would probably be the one that I would have most of my weight in.
A couple of other horses to discuss, however. Tiger Paw, who's getting some class relief for the Ramseys, Mike Maker, John Velasquez. A little bit disappointed with that last race. Beaten favorite. I mean, they dropped him off the layoff, almost like, please take him. No one took him. Now they drop him again. Maybe that's not a recipe for success, but on his best races, he's there. Maybe Brown's Gap, a horse that came back off almost a 2-year layoff last time out. He was in for the 33 Life. He certainly wasn't embarrassed. With that race under his belt, I think it's a forward move. And there's that trainer again, Saffie Joseph.
Yeah, Brown's Gap would be the other one for me in here. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to say backup or I would use on the main ticket, but like you say, second start off of a long layoff, gets major class relief for a red hot barn. I can see all the reasons why Brown's Gap makes sense.
We've given you 9,342 combinations for the Rainbow Six.
10 grand.
Not enough, probably,
It's only
to
gonna
hit
cost
it
10
all.
grand.
Races 6 through 11, guaranteed payout. We're closing out the championship meet on Sunday with the Rainbow Six. Approximate post time for the first leg, that $12,500 maiden claimer, 3:05 Eastern. Best of luck.